Welcome, everybody. We are at Build 41. Thank you for coming today. We're building stamina, which is kind of just another fun way of saying a HIIT session. So high intensity interval training. I have one set of 15-pound dumbbells that I'm going to be using today. We're just going to be trying to build stamina within reps for pretty much the full body. We're going full body. We're going to start with the same core set all week long. We did this several weeks ago with legs, and it was quite a lot of fun. So I think it'd be super fun to also bring that into core. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Bring those arms all the way up. Always good to get a tall, long reach. Everything kind of compacts throughout the day, so get that reach up. Pull out of your side. Envision that you're giving your back and hips and knees and ankles space. Pull to the side, pull to the side. Keep that going. Last one. All right, take a wide base of support. Just hinge over the legs. So we're hinging from our hip creases. A lot of times we end up bending from our back and then we round. So push your butt back, hinge from those hip creases all the way forward. Just let your body hang first. Enjoy that pull on the hamstrings and then kind of rotate. So I'm going to have you pull your left hip over, right hip in, and then pull the right hip around, left hip in. So you're kind of rotating back and forth, getting some movement through those hip joints. If you're not able to touch the ground, you might try to find a block or a weight or something that can bring the floor up to you just so that you can kind of stabilize. Find it gets a little extra traction, a little extra stretch. All right, we're going to sink those hips all the way down. So wide base of support, like I said, you're going to roll onto one heel and one ankle. So I'm on my right heel, my left toe, and then rotate your right arm up, and then the other direction. Rotate onto your right toe, left heel, rotate the left arm up, back and forth. So if you remember, we have mobile points and stable points. That upper back needs to move together. It's a stable joint, stable point in our kinetic chain. And then the mid back, your thoracic spine should be mobile. If you play golf, let's see what else. Most of my clients play golf. And so this is what we work a lot on is thoracic mobility. But really anything in life, you need some space and mobility in that mid back. And then your low back is stable again. So it stays flexed, working together, using the core to hold it. So there's no rotation in that low back. It moves as one big piece, and then you have mobility and rotation in your hip joints. Stability in the knees, mobility in those ankles. All right, that was fun. Let's go into a downward facing dog. Spread out as far as you can on your mat. Big wide open hands. Push that booty up and back. Tuck your chin toward your chest, and then let's slide the chest back toward the thighs. Give me a little bounce here. I've been liking bouncing recently. Kind of helps get a little deeper into the stretch and your body doesn't freak out. Grab into the core. We're still holding that strong core. Drive those heels down to the ground. And then drop onto your knees. Bring your hands back toward your knees. Let's go through a few cat-cow. I'm going to do a few back extensions, and then we'll get started. Tuck through. Open through the chest. Really drive hands and knees into the ground. Make your cat-cows super active. Really good for the core, really good for the back. Last one here. All right, and then we're going to lower all the way down onto our stomach. Belly nice and strong. Core, so like I said, core set, that's your belly. And then glutes. I want your glutes flexed also. So we're going to lower onto our elbows and then just a gentle push up off the ground. At whatever point it's too much on your back, then just stop at that range. So if this is enough, stay here. But if you can go a little deeper, go a little deeper. Also, the closer that your hands are underneath your shoulders, then the more stretch, the more lift and tension you'll have on the back. Let's go 2 more. I'm just keeping mine gentle for now. And done. All right, push yourself up. And let's go through our core set that we're going to be repeating all week. So starting off, we're going to hit up a dead bug. It's a good way to start. On your back, push your low back into the ground. That's the biggest thing. Get that flexion and connection. Low back pushes into the ground. If you need to stay here to keep the low back in the ground, I want you to stay here. You do not progress until you can keep that first set. Drive deep into the side of the belly, the transverse abdominis. Extend your opposite arm and leg, and then pull everything back. Extend, and then pull back. We're just at one. These are not a rush move, a rush exercise. You want to feel flexion and tension just like you would in a plank, right? When we're holding our plank, we have all sorts of isometric contractions, isometric holds. So if you're focusing on keeping that push, low back toward the ground, wrapping all the way around your abdomen, so you're not just pulling the front of the belly strong, but you're trying to wrap everything together and keep that low back pushed into the ground. Extend, contract. Here's 8. The lower that the leg goes, the more difficult it is to keep your low back on the ground. So keep track of that. As you extend, pay attention. If you feel a pull in your low back, don't lower your legs so far. Last one. Perfect. Pull back. All right, next up, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is called a salamander because apparently this is how salamanders move. We're going to go into a forearm plank to start off. Pull your shoulders up past your elbow crease, tuck in through the tailbone. You're going to lift your right leg, pull it up, out at an angle, and then you're going to drop onto your straight thigh. Kind of like a TikTok plank. Pull your left knee out, rotate down, but we have one leg up. Okay, that's one. To the side, rotate, lift. You want to get those hips to rotate, then come back to level. Tuck up, rotate over, back to start. Tuck that knee, rotate up, back to start. Stay strong through that core. That's what we're here for. If it gets too difficult, just stay within the point that works for you. Maybe you need to just hold a plank. Maybe you pull the knee, but don't rotate. Not supposed to rush these either. 8. Watch those hips. 9. Pull, twist. Last one. Those feel good. All right. Take a little second. We're going to move on into a super plank. Super plank means we're going to be in a high plank and we're going to attach our opposite toe and hand. So once you have your plank set up, shoulders over wrist, tuck your back knee in, tap your toe to opposite hand. Keep your shoulders up over the wrists. Five. These shouldn't be rushed either. Trying to keep your hips as level as possible, of course. And 10. Perfect. All right. Last one for our set is a side plank with a hip dip. All right. On your elbow. If you need to keep your bottom knee on the ground, feel free. Open up. Stack shoulders, stack hips. Now we're going to go for range again. Trying not to rush it. 2. Pop that hip up. 4. Focus those obliques. 6. Still keeping front of the belly strong. 8. 9. 10. Other side. Roll it over, drop, and push. 2, 3, 6, 7. Go for range. Try not to just pop it at the top. 10. All right. Perfect. Okay, moving on. Get your hair ready to jump. We're going to be going through 20 rep sets, and we're going to try to hit 3 sets. 3 sets of 20 reps. We're going to start with gate swings. So we're going to jump wide and low, and then up to the top narrow, 20 reps. Then we have a hinge and press. So here's your gate swing here. Then you're going to have your hinge and press. Okay, you're going to use a teeny bit of momentum, teeny bit of swing, belly strong. Remember, we're going for stamina. So try your best to get all the way to the end of your 20 reps. We might need to take some breaks between exercises. We're going to push to the end of our 20 of those. After our hinge and press, we're going to go 180-degree jump squats. Squat in, jump all the way down, back and forth. So it'll be 10 total switches, 20 total jumps. We're going to be on our backs from there. Push those hips up into a glute bridge. And then we're going to do an alternating punch. So you want your top hand to come across the body just a bit, which is why I want your hips off the ground. You must stabilize through the back, the lats, the obliques, the core, because as you punch with that weight, your body's going to want to follow it. We want to hold it firm and fixed and held there. Then we're going to go into a locomotive. One leg forward, one leg slightly back, hinge forward deep. You're going to take a little bit of momentum, little bit of twist in that thoracic spine I was talking about, holding core nice and deep. We'll be on the ground for a single leg glute bridge, pulse at the very end. Okay, 3 sets, 20 reps of each. Gate swings first. Here we go. Line your knees with your toes. Use your inner thighs to push to the top. Make sure your hips drop more than your chest. 3, 2, 1. All right, hinge and press. Lock in through the core. Lock in through the back. Five, pop in through those hips at the top. Strong glutes, strong thighs. 10 to go. Keep your flat back. Four, 3, 2, 1. All right, 180 jump squats. Line those knees and toes. And 20. Good. Flying on our backs. 20 each side. Whew. Here we go. Drive those hips. Press across. Here's 2, 3, 4. That's about the pace you want. Strong wrists. Push through the tricep. 10. 13. Brace into that back. 18, 19, 20. All right, getting tired. Trying to keep it. One leg forward, one leg slightly back. Hinge forward, flat back, strong core. 11, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything. All right. On our backs, back into that glute bridge. Yes, I know you're just here. It's okay. Pull one leg in, and then you're going to pulse. 2, 3, 4. Don't go all the way down. 10. Keep the belly strong. 19, 20. Switch. 1. Focus on that left glute or whatever your leg on the ground. 18, 19, 20. Good. Back to gate swings. Sit all the way on those heels when you're wide, then toes when you're narrow. Doing good. Hinge and press. From the core first. Use energy from those legs. Push through the ground floor. Lock in that core. Solid posture. Stance at the top. 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. More of a hinge, less of a squat. Here we go. 180 jumps. Try to jump high off the ground. Squat all the way down. 17, 20. All right, on the ground. Not too many intervals. I like it, actually. Keeping it going. 1, 3, 4. Don't forget, punch across. Feel those lats have to support. 13. Check in with that core. 18, 19, 20. Locomotive. If you remember which leg you had forward last time, switch it up this time. Get that little rotation. Make sure you're not sagging in the low back. 8, 9. Just the reverse of what we just did, pulling instead of pushing. 2, 1. All right, back into that glute bridge. Lift up. Pull one leg back. 3, 4. Big pulse. Staying at the top, but you're not bouncing. It's really a flex, slight release. 2 and 1. Slight release. 9, 10. Make sure everything stays in alignment. 18, 19, 20. Little knee tuck. Roll it up. Last round. Here we go. 10. Wait, going to 20. 20. Or I did 30. I don't know. All right. Hinge and press. Pack your back. Flex that core. Grab through with your glutes. Halfway. Last 3, 2, 1. Yeah. All right. Bring on those 180s. Come on. Stick with it. Remember, we're here for stamina. All right. On our backs. Alternating tricep press, crunch, across. Halfway. Scan the body. What are you feeling? 17, 18. Watch that weaker side. 20. Shoulder wants to come up off the ground. The arm doesn't want to push as far across. Watch it. Don't let it get lazy. Lock your core even more. 17, 18, 20. On your backs. Push it up. Bring one leg in. Pulse. 19, 20. Oh. 1, 2, 17, 18, 19, 20. Tuck it in. All right. If you would like, go ahead and stretch. I think we should hit one little bonus. We'll do a half set. One more round, 10 each. Boom, boom, boom. Gate swings to start. 1, 2, 9, 10. Hinge and press. Only 10, but stay solid. Don't get sloppy. 4, 6. Give it all you got. Last set. 8, 9, 10. 180s. 8, 9, 10. Cross punches from your glute bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Flex. 8. Focus. And 10. Locomotive. More core, more back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then glute bridge pulse. Set it up first. Get it done right. 2, 3, 6, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Extend everything long. Arms overhead. Legs stretched out. Bring your thumbs to the ground. See if you can get your thumbs to touch behind you without your elbows bending. So this is a good check-in for shoulder mobility. If you can, keep your arms straight without bending those elbows. Thumbs on the ground. Just drive those thumbs into the ground a second. You'll feel those shoulder blades engage a little more. Reach along through those arms. If you're not able to touch without the elbows bending, just get to that point and engage the shoulder blades there. And then eventually, next time you have some time or now, grab a roller real quick or a pillow or a weight and drive those hands, that thumb, knuckle in there. All right. Open your elbows out wide, goalpost. Bring both legs up. Make sure that you're set, straight and square. Shoulders, hips, one higher than the other. Check in, make sure they're all level. Knees, heels. You really miss the benefit of this twist if you move the planted foot. So don't move it. A lot of people move it and they don't think they do. Lift up your right leg, plant your right ankle on top of the left knee, and then open your knee away from your hip. Did you move your left foot? If you did, put it back. Now, slowly lower. So you're going to roll onto the outer edge of that left foot. lowering your legs to the left until your right foot is on the ground or you're in too much tightness or pain to keep going. Did your left foot move? It can roll, it just can't move. Push just with your own strength, not your hand. Just drop that right knee away from the body. Grab your core, roll back in. Plant your right foot. Double check, make sure everything's set. Keep your right foot there. Take your left foot, cross it over. Push your left knee away from your body. Just roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Do not shift your foot. Roll down. Can you keep that left shoulder, elbow, and wrist in the ground? Just try to relax. Push that left knee away from you. All right, roll back in. Technically, you want to hold those for about a minute each. So if you're having any low back trouble or feel like your hips are off or out of alignment or something, give those a shot. Pull the knees in. Let's take a little circle around. Other way. All right, flip it over. Bring your right leg forward. Stretch into that back hip flexor. Kind of taking some longer lunges again. It's really effective to kind of start to know which stretches make the biggest difference for your body, right? So this one, I traditionally have had hip trouble on my right side since I was about 17 years old. I'm much older than that now. All right, hinge back, toe comes up. A lot of us have one leg that's a little shorter than the other, so naturally our pelvis is going to be off a little. So can cause some issues, but I have found that low runner's lunge really keeps my hips happy. So recently I've been doing more shortened stretches, which are also really good for your legs in here. Tuck under, you get that hip flexor this way. Still a great stretch. But I have taken out, okay, let's get our pigeon, the low runner's lunge stretch in place of that. And recently, my hip has been acting up a little again. Bring back in my runner's lunge stretch. Guess what? It's happy again. So kind of learn your body. It's really effective when we go through these stretches. I try to find some new ones to throw at you here and there, but also keep some consistency, because when you have a stretch that you're consistent with, or even like a stretch routine, there's a higher chance that you'll actually do it. Same with going to a gym. If you're like, what am I going to do? You have no purpose when you go in other than just working out, burning calories. It's tough. You can get overwhelmed. You waste a lot of time trying to decide or looking for your weights or changing the rack. All right, switch it up. Bring that left leg forward. So routines can be good, but what I'm really trying to say here is learn your body. And if there's a stretch that you like and that your body needs and finds its happy place, making sure to keep in the rotation, then don't cut it out. Make sure you do it. Find that stretch. If there's something that's going on in your body, don't just resign yourself to that fact. Depending on injuries that you've had in the past, surgeries, etc., low back's hurting, your neck hurting, try your best to learn why and to make adjustments. All right, hinge back and get that hamstring, as opposed to just cutting them out. Deadlifts are actually very, very good for your low back because they strengthen the glutes and open the hip flexors. But if we don't have flexibility in the hamstrings or strength in the core, all that happens is the low back takes the load. So therefore, Many of us don't do deadlifts because it hurts our low back. Let's figure out why, make the adjustments, peel things back, peel off the layers, start at that foundational level, and then get you to the point where you can do deadlifts because you have a strong back and to continue to keep a strong back. Learn to ask why and question. I definitely need to keep myself in check. Research changes, scientific findings change. So keeping an open mind and being willing to admit what you don't know, or be willing to admit that what you've always known may not always be true. It's a much easier, more laid-back life if you're not super held to your opinions and beliefs. Things change, people change. Our world is very adaptive, so we have to figure out what we want to do within that. All right, fantastic job, everybody. Walk those hands back to your feet. Let's take one more little low squat and rotation. You should feel actually a little more open now, getting your body through some ranges of motion, heat, and work. Great job. All right, well, I hope that you feel like you built some stamina today. I know I did, and I'll see you tomorrow.